on in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, you are not going to believe it. Where do we start? For one, Diddy, okay? Diddy's demanding a mistrial for what? His own lawyer's incompetence. If you guys don't know, Diddy rushed to the trial, okay? Sorry. Diddy rushed to the trial, okay? He rushed into this trial. He needed more time. Anthony Rico said he needed time. He refused to take more time. Now his lawyers are literally crying that they don't have enough time to meet with their client. Sir, your client should have been trying to jury tamper. Your client shouldn't have been threatening people. Then they're saying they need to stay, they want special treatment. They want to be able to stay in the SDNY until 10 p.m. Diddy, you're not slick. You just want to be able to order some DoorDash and finally get some good food because we know you've been struggling with the commissary. What else is he demanding? They're demanding an immediate mistrial because the government pointed out that fingerprint cards went missing, so it was impossible to actually swab the prints. Now, Diddy says, you're implying our client's a criminal. Nah, everybody thinks your client is a criminal.
In a shocking and unprecedented twist in the ongoing Diddy trial, explosive new allegations have surfaced that the music mogul allegedly threatened the parents of Cassie, a key figure tied to the case. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the courtroom and ignited immediate panic within Diddy's defense team, who have now made a desperate and dramatic move, demanding a mistrial, claiming that these threats have compromised the fairness of the proceedings. The courtroom atmosphere has turned electric with tension as lawyers and spectators alike absorb the gravity of these accusations. The defense's demand for a mistrial isn't just a routine legal maneuver. It's a bold and rare step that signals deep concern over the integrity of the trial itself. The media has wasted no time amplifying the story, with headlines and social media posts exploding across platforms, fans and critics weighing in as the drama unfolds live. This development marks a critical turning point in what has already been a highly charged and closely watched case. For months, the trial has revealed layers of scandal, power struggles, and alleged abuses of influence that have captivated the public's attention. Now, with threats reportedly aimed directly at Cassie's family, the stakes have been raised to a new, dangerous level. The implications of these allegations reach far beyond the courtroom walls. If proven true, they underscore a troubling pattern of intimidation and fear tactics allegedly employed by powerful figures to manipulate outcomes and silence voices. For Cassie's family, these threats represent not only a personal violation, but a chilling attempt to disrupt justice. For the prosecution, it's a call to reinforce protections and hold accountable those who seek to undermine the legal process. As the defense scrambles to contain the fallout by demanding a mistrial, questions swirl about what this means for the future of the trial and for Diddy's fate. Will the court grant this rare request, or will the trial continue despite the turmoil? How will this impact public perception, and what messages does it send about power, influence, and accountability? One thing is clear: the courtroom drama is escalating and every move is being watched closely. The coming days promise more revelations, heated arguments, and legal fireworks as all eyes remain fixed on this landmark case. Stay tuned as we break down the latest explosive developments and explore what's next in the fight for truth and justice. The ongoing legal battle between Sean Diddy Combs and key figures in his circle has captivated the public for months, with allegations ranging from coercion to abuse, manipulation, and intimidation. At the heart of this sprawling case is Cassie Ventura, the R&B singer and longtime associate of Diddy, whose involvement has brought a deeply personal dimension to the proceedings. But the trial's tension escalated dramatically when reports surfaced that Diddy allegedly threatened Cassie's parents, a move that has sent shockwaves through the courtroom and heightened concerns about witness safety and trial integrity. Cassie's role in the case has evolved from a peripheral figure to a critical witness whose testimony carries significant weight. Known for her professional and personal ties with Diddy, she has been positioned as both a confidant and, at times, a reluctant participant in the complex web surrounding the allegations. As the trial progressed, her family became increasingly involved, providing support and standing as pillars behind her testimony. However, this also made them vulnerable targets amid an atmosphere thick with power struggles and attempts to influence the outcome. The allegations against Diddy include a range of serious claims: coercion, abuse of power, manipulation of artists, and fostering an environment where intimidation was used to silence victims and witnesses. These charges have been detailed through testimony from multiple individuals, including former collaborators and insiders who painted a disturbing picture of a culture driven by control and fear. The trial has brought to light the intricate tactics allegedly employed to maintain dominance within the entertainment industry, with Cassie's testimony expected to be a pivotal part of this narrative. Throughout the case, there have been multiple incidents that have intensified the already high stakes. The defense team has aggressively challenged witnesses, sought to discredit testimony, and filed motions aimed at disrupting the trial's progress. Meanwhile, the prosecution has pressed forward, emphasizing the importance of protecting those who come forward to ensure justice is served. The courtroom itself has become a battleground, with tensions running high as both sides grapple with the implications of the evidence presented. The emergence of threats directed at Cassie's parents represents a particularly alarming escalation. Witness intimidation is a serious offense that threatens the very foundation of the justice system. It not only endangers those involved, but risks derailing a trial built on transparency and truth. The fact that such threats have reportedly come from or been connected to the defense camp has sent a clear message of the lengths some parties may go to protect their interests, regardless of the cost. This development has forced the court to consider additional security measures and raised urgent questions about the safety of all witnesses and their families. Protecting these individuals is critical to ensuring that testimonies can be given without fear, allowing the legal process to unfold fairly and openly. The defense's recent request for a mistrial, citing concerns over the compromised environment, reflects the growing volatility of the proceedings. As the case continues, the involvement of Cassie and her family underscores the human element behind the headlines, a reminder that legal battles are not just about power and money, but about real people whose lives are profoundly affected. The trial's trajectory now hinges on how the court responds to these threats and whether justice can prevail in the face of intimidation. In sum, the Diddy-Cassie trial encapsulates a broader struggle over truth, influence, and accountability. In an industry often cloaked in secrecy, the recent allegations of threats have added a new layer of urgency and gravity, making clear that the fight for justice is far from over. The world watches closely, as every twist and turn in this high-profile case reveals more about the cost of silence and the courage required to break it. Recent developments in the high-profile trial have brought to light deeply disturbing allegations that Sean Diddy Combs reportedly threatened the parents of key witness Cassie Ventura. These revelations have sent shockwaves through the courtroom, creating a charged atmosphere filled with tension and uncertainty about the trial's direction. According to court documents and insider testimonies, the threats were allegedly made during a private phone conversation intercepted by investigators. The recording reportedly captures Diddy or an associate warning Cassie's parents against interfering with the trial or allowing Cassie to testify against him. The tone of the communication was described as intimidating and veiled with ominous implications, suggesting severe consequences if the family did not comply with the implied demands. This alleged attempt to silence or intimidate the family has been cited as a serious breach of legal and ethical boundaries, sparking immediate concern from the prosecution and the court. The timing of these threats is crucial. They reportedly surfaced shortly after Cassie's testimony brought significant new allegations against Diddy, marking a pivotal moment in the trial. It appears these actions were intended to obstruct justice by pressuring the family to withdraw their cooperation, thereby weakening the prosecution's case. Witness intimidation, especially when involving family members, is a grave offense that undermines the integrity of the judicial process and endangers the safety of those involved. Upon learning of these allegations, the defense team reportedly entered a state of panic. In a dramatic courtroom move, they immediately filed a motion demanding a mistrial. This legal maneuver, rare in cases of this magnitude, signals the defense's acknowledgement of the seriousness of the situation and their attempt to halt proceedings in hopes of resetting the trial environment. The mistrial request was grounded in the argument that the alleged threats created a hostile and unfair environment, prejudicing the jury and compromising the defense's ability to mount a fair case. The defense's demand for a mistrial cites concerns that the ongoing intimidation has tainted the trial process, potentially swaying jurors by fear or sympathy towards the prosecution's side. They argue that the presence of threats directed at a witness's family renders the courtroom atmosphere untenable, undermining the principle of impartiality that is foundational to justice. While a mistrial can serve as a reset button, it also carries risks. It may prolong the trial, increase legal costs, and potentially embolden the prosecution. Critically, this latest development has had a profound impact on the defense's credibility. To many observers, the alleged intimidation attempts reinforce perceptions of desperation and an aggressive effort to control the narrative outside the courtroom rather than addressing the allegations head-on. Public and media scrutiny have intensified, with commentators questioning the ethical boundaries the defense is willing to cross. The image of a powerful figure using threats to influence testimony feeds into the broader narrative of abuse of power, casting a shadow over the defense's arguments and strategy. Legal experts have weighed in, explaining that the court takes witness intimidation very seriously, especially when it involves family members who are not direct parties to the case, but play a vital supportive role. The judge overseeing the trial has reportedly expressed grave concern, issuing stern warnings that any further attempts to interfere with witnesses or their families will result in severe penalties, including contempt of court and potential criminal charges. This has raised the stakes significantly for all parties involved. In response to the mistrial motion and the allegations, the prosecution has doubled down on calls for protective measures. Proposals for enhanced security around Cassie and her family have been put forward, including restricted access to court documents, increased surveillance, and possibly relocating family members for their safety. The prosecution argues that these measures are essential to ensure that witnesses can testify without fear, maintaining the integrity of the trial. This incident has also sparked a broader discussion within legal and entertainment circles about the pressures faced by witnesses in high-profile cases. The entertainment industry, often intertwined with significant power and wealth, can create environments where intimidation tactics thrive, making it difficult for victims and witnesses to come forward. The Diddy trial is increasingly seen as a landmark case that could set precedents for how such matters are handled in the future, especially regarding witness protection and trial fairness. Moving forward, the defense's strategy is now under intense scrutiny. The mistrial request may buy them time, but it also places them under a microscope, forcing them to navigate a delicate balance between aggressive defense and avoiding further accusations of misconduct. How the court rules on the mistrial motion will likely shape the remainder of the trial, influencing witness cooperation, jury perception, and public opinion. In conclusion, the allegations that Diddy threatened Cassie's parents represent a dramatic and critical twist in the trial. They underscore the high stakes involved and the lengths to which parties may go to influence the outcome. The defense's panic and call for a mistrial highlight the escalating tensions and the fragile state of the proceedings. As the court weighs these developments, all eyes remain on the unfolding drama, aware that the integrity of justice hangs in the balance. The recent revelations of alleged threats against Cassie's parents mark a critical turning point in the already intense Diddy trial. These shocking developments have not only intensified the courtroom drama, but also cast a harsh spotlight on issues of intimidation and the lengths some may go to influence the course of justice. The defense's frantic demand for a mistrial underscores the gravity of the situation and the escalating tension permeating every facet of this high-profile case. Beyond the immediate courtroom implications, these events raise profound questions about accountability and fairness in trials involving powerful figures. When intimidation tactics target witnesses and their families, the very foundation of the justice system is threatened. Protecting those who come forward is not just a legal necessity, but a moral imperative. This case exemplifies the broader challenges faced in ensuring that truth and transparency prevail over fear and manipulation. The impact of these revelations reaches far beyond the individuals involved. It resonates throughout the entertainment, industry, and society at large. It serves as a stark reminder that no amount of fame or influence should place anyone above the law or the principles of justice. The trial is becoming a symbol of resistance against abuses of power and a call for systemic reform. As the proceedings continue, it is crucial for the public to remain vigilant and informed. The stakes are high, and the outcome will likely set important precedents for how witness protection and intimidation are handled in future cases. This trial is more than a legal battle. It is a fight for integrity, truth, and the courage to stand against injustice. Stay tuned and engaged as the story unfolds. Because in the end, justice is not just about one case. It's about upholding the principles that protect us all.